Now we should talk about our model generator. Here we can see a little hint how to make a model. So we can use the traditional notation of sets. So for example, let's make a little comment so it becomes clear what we are doing. Comment is made with the hashtag symbol or a number symbol. We need to make a model that contains S for states, T for transition, I for initial states, or F for final states. So let's define S. Let's say we have a model that contains the state S1. Then S1 is also an initial state, so let's add it to the initial states. S1 is also a final state. And let's say we also have a transition to S1 itself. Oh, transitions are tuples of states. Yeah. So S1 has a transition to itself. But now you might wonder how to add information to either the transitions or the states. If you want to make a crypto structure, we can add information to the state itself by adding a label. Labels are denoted with these brackets. So we can, for example, add variables A and B and C. Or if we want to add strings, we can just add this and some string. Right. And if we want to label some transitions, we can do the same labeling. We can do it simultaneously. Let's add A and B here. But we can do the same labeling at the transitions. Here, A, B, close it, and then it also says A and B here, or also some string. It's important, if you want to have it processed by the backend, that you use this notation for strings, because otherwise it won't work properly. So let's add some more states. Let's add a state S2. We want to make a transition from S1 to S2. S1, S2. We want to give it some label. Cool transition. And then we don't want S1 as final state, but S2. Right. So that is the traditional model. Let's see how we can use the compact model. For example, every compact model is a set of transitions. So AB, AC, and B to C. So these are just multiple transitions separated with a comma. We can label the individual states by adding a label after the states. For example, some label, some variable. Then this has some variable. So I chose unfortunate state names. Let's say S, T, and U as variables for this state. But we can also label the transition if we label the transition symbol itself. Right. But the But this notation has an advantage. If we look here, I will delete this again. So we have the state name. If we look here, we only have a unidirectional transition. But if we delete this, we have a bidirectional transition. And every transition is also a state. That might sound confusing, but what that means is you don't need to add transitions. You can just also add states themselves. For example, I just added D, E, and F. But we can also make them into transitions. So for example, D to D itself. Then what we also need to talk about is start and end states for the model encoding and the model tracing. So with arrow going away, we have a start state, and with the arrow pointing towards the state, we have an end state. If we make the same state a start and an end state, it will be a mix of those two colors. Start states are blue and end states are green. Yeah, that's it.